Hey guys, so I just want to make a quick video basically talking about the new car I got that I'm going to be working on the channel, building, taking the car meets, stuff like that. So recently I drove about 4 hours to pick up a 2002 Mitsubishi Eclipse GT. It's a 5-speed manual, makes about 200 horsepower according to Google. I haven't dynoed it. I'm waiting till I kind of do more stuff to it because it's stock. Other than I believe the only thing that I know of is the exhaust, which I do intend to get a new one because this one's kind of janky. But so a lot of stuff that I can do to it. I know we wrapped the hood. I didn't make a video on that because I was like, this is the first time, it's probably not gonna end up well. I don't even know if I'm gonna leave it on. Turned out a lot better than I expected, honestly. So it's still on. It's gonna be on for a while until I can get my new hood because I'm going for a carbon fiber hood that has hood scoops for the cold air intake that I'm gonna be getting. That's the next thing I'm doing, most likely. Either that or the spoiler I found that I really like, that's also carbon fiber. And then I'm also going to be wrapping it a dark purple that I found on Final Frog, I believe. But when I bought the car, there were some issues with it that I had to take care of before I really could do anything with it, go have fun with it. The guy told me there was an oil leak. He had the seals to fix it and everything. He's like, it'll just take a few hours. It's behind a timing belt. And so I took it to the shop because I was like, I don't want to deal with taking apart the timing belt. And they found about 4 more leaks. My timing belt was cracked, and one of my bearings was like, I think it was a bearing. I'm not entirely sure, but it was cracked. So it took them about a week to get it back to me, which it shouldn't have. They just kept procrastinating, stalling. I don't know what it was, but I got it back. It stopped leaking oil, so it's good now on that. Checked the oil regularly, made sure it's not burning oil. I burned oil one day, but I was cruising around with my buddy, and I definitely went a little more crazy than I could have. But before that happened, I actually ended up getting a coolant leak, which I'm not sure if it was something the shop did because they said they did have to do something with the coolant line. But one of my coolant lines was like torn, or like there was a hole in it, so it was leaking. So I took it to my buddy's shop and they had it done. I dropped it off about 4 p.m. on Wednesday and had gotten it back at 11 a.m. Thursday. I got it back next day, a lot cheaper. Obviously, it was a different thing, less parts, so it was gonna be cheaper. But I honestly, if I'm gonna have a shop do any of the work, it's gonna be that shop. They were great. But I do have a lot of plans with this car. The last car I had was a Mazda 3 that I didn't really post much because it was winter when I got it, and it was icy. I live in Idaho, so not really much you can do with a sports car in winter unless it's a WRX, all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. I can't remember, but that's what I'm wanting to get eventually. But for now, we got the Eclipse, which was one of my dream cars in high school, so I'm very excited about it. There's a lot of stuff I want to do with it. I've got plans. I have stuff saved in a car. I've got a cold air intake I've looked at. That comes with a heat shield, which is nice because the first cold air intake I ever bought didn't. And it was for a Pontiac G6 GT, which was fun, but it was automatic. It was my first car, so I kind of was just messing around with it. That's the only thing I ever did to it though, and then I got rid of that. But the Mazda I had, the reason I don't have that anymore is because the motor got shot. Not like shot, but it blew. Got rod knock when I was cruising out with my buddy when it was a warmer day, and I was really upset about it, but there wasn't really much I could do with that. They didn't make turbos for it because it wasn't a Mazda Speed 3, it was just a Mazda 3. And I went to a shop and I was talking to them at P1 Auto Works, and they were like, honestly, the only way you could really turbo this is if you just completely engine and tranny swap for a Mazda Speed 3. And I was like, I don't have the money for that. So I kind of was just, having fun with it while I could. It was the first manual car I ever owned, so it was fun to learn on, but that didn't last long, and I was really bummed about it. But then I saw this, and I was like, okay, I need to get this one. So here we are, $2,000 later, plus all the maintenance adds up to about $3,000. The wrap was free. It was given to me by my buddy Derek. He's got a really nice Evo, and he bought it wrapped, and the guy he bought it off of gave him what was left over, and he wasn't going to use it because he honestly didn't like it, but he gave it to me. He was like, I know you're planning on wrapping your car, so just practice with this. It's not a lot. It was just enough to do my hood and my gas cap, We were gonna try to do the wing because it's, you know, it's small, but we were just barely short, so we weren't able to get it, which was somewhat disappointing, but at the same time it still looks pretty good. I'll show you it here in a minute. It is dirty. It rained a couple days ago and it was already dusty from the shop. I need to get it cleaned, but it's kind of a mess and the paint's peeling all over. Like, I need to get it wrapped sooner than later, but I'm trying to focus on more of the engine stuff and the more cosmetic stuff, like the spoiler. The hood I'm probably gonna do after wrapping, so I'll just leave this wrap on with the other wrap and then get the hood eventually. But I know next I want to get the cold air intake so I can let the engine breathe a little bit better, you know, get some cold air into it, and then the spoiler for sure, because it will definitely make the car look a lot better. And I also want to get it on coilovers because the fitment is horrendous. But yeah, I'll hop out and we'll look around. So this is the back of it. That's the spoiler. We almost had enough to wrap. Gas cap got a little bit of wrap on it. My buddy Kevin did that just for fun. I forgot to mention it did come with aftermarket wheels on it, which are kind of nice. I'm probably gonna get new ones though, because, you know, they're not really my style. But this is the hood. Extremely dirty. Definitely needs to be cleaned. It's got a black front bumper, which kind of bothers me, but the headlights are blacked out somewhat. It's really fun. It's got a sunroof. It's pretty quick. It sounds nice. Exhaust, I'm not sure what it is, honestly. Dude didn't even know. He didn't own it for very long, but it's not too big. It sounds pretty nice, but yeah, it also has a tail edge for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I want to get new taillights, you know, coilovers, because this is just absolutely horrendous. So much space there. I need to get this thing lowered. It's not low at all. I'm not scraping on nothing. But, you know, it's fun. I plan to do a lot with it. You know, take it to meets. I've already done a few meets with it, set some up with my buddy. We've had some fun. Got some great pictures and stuff. But yeah, lots coming with this one. It'll be fun. So yeah, it's, you know, it's a fun car. Little manual. It's got a lot of miles on it, like 250,000 when I bought it, probably closer to 251 now because I've done a lot of driving. I know I want to get seats. I'm not sure what else I want to do with the interior. I've thought about getting an aftermarket steering wheel, but I haven't really decided because a lot can go wrong, a lot can go right with that, you know. I've seen videos of them breaking and like falling off and stuff, and I don't want to deal with that. But at the same time, this steering wheel is just kind of big. It's kind of chunky, in all honesty. But, you know. Well, another thing coming up in July, because as of right now, it's, I believe, June 18th. But late July, I'm going to be going out to Reno, Nevada, because I'm probably moving out there at the end of the year. It's a nicer car scene, nice apartments, you know. But I'll be making a video of that road trip, because, you know, we're going out on the weekend, and I know every Saturday they do Cars and Coffee either in Sparks or Reno, which is basically the same town. It's kind of like, for the locals here in Idaho Falls, it's like Idaho Falls and Ammon. They're connected, you know, basically the same town, but they're technically different. It's a lot bigger though. I know I was living out in Fallon, Nevada there for a little bit, a few months. I went to a few Cars and Coffees. I posted some Instagram reels with that. Never really got any YouTube videos out other than just YouTube shorts, but they've got a pretty nice car scene out there. There's this nice Lamborghini that was gorgeous. It's an STO. It's nice purple. Yeah, there's a lot of nice Hondas. They had a couple 240SXs. I saw a couple S14s, you know. Decent car scene. Pretty big Cars and Coffee. I like that they do it every week instead of just once a month like we do here. And honestly, I haven't actually been to a Cars and Coffee in Idaho Falls this year. I haven't really seen them being posted. I've gone to a few car meets, you know. I went to one a few nights ago, but it was kind of sketchy, you know. One of those, it wasn't a takeover. We don't really do those here. Thank you. Don't like takeovers, but it was, I don't know, it was weird. Like, no one was really talking to anyone. They were just standing there in like little groups. It was like midnight, but you know, usually I've just been hitting up my buddies. We've gotten together. Sometimes a few people will show up that my buddies know. There was this one time we actually ended up crashing a meet, and then we all ended up cruising. It was actually really fun. You know, I met a friend there. We've been hanging out. It was a good time. Yeah, no, so trip to Reno, that'll be fun. Get a video of the Cars and Coffee, get a video of the road trip, you know, anything I spot on the way. Just, I want to post more on YouTube, you know, because I've really been focused on my Instagram for the past year. But I really want to, like, lock down on YouTube, you know, start posting actual videos, which is what I'm trying to do with this, you know. Get more focus on actual videos instead of just YouTube shorts and Instagram reels, because that's really what I was focused on building my channel. But now that I'm getting closer to that 1,000 subscribers mark, I really want to start actually, you know, interacting more, posting more, like longer videos, showing more of what I'm doing versus just a bunch of other people's cars, you know, because yes, I love seeing other cars, I love posting other cars, but I really want to focus on what I'm doing as well, you know. I want to show more, because I've never really posted a video of me working on my car, me modifying my car, because, you know, I've never really had a car that I was wanting to do anything with or would look good with anything, because that Pontiac I had, it wasn't a sports car, you know. It was more of like just a mom car, because I bought it off my mom, so it wasn't really anything crazy. But, you know, I put a cold air intake in it for shits and giggles, you know. I thought, oh, let's do it, let's see what it does. And, you know, honestly, it did make a decent bit difference. It was noticeable. It wasn't crazy though. It wasn't like throwing you back in your seat or anything. Didn't have an exhaust, didn't make exhausts for it, so I didn't bother trying to customize one. I did look into it though. I was tempted, but I ended up selling that, going to another Pontiac, then an LS, which ended up breaking in like 2 weeks. Then I got the Mazda, posted a little bit of that on Reels and stuff. Never really made a whole video about it. But, you know, with this one, I do plan on keeping this one for a while. You know, I have thought about trading up, saving up a couple thousand, you know, trading up for an older WRX, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that, because, you know, this was one of my dream cars. A WRX is another one of my dream cars, but I could just save up and have both, you know? Why not? But that's gonna be it for this video. If you want to see me build this car, you know, have some fun with it, subscribe, like, comment. I'm gonna respond to every comment, because I don't really get that many. I'm gonna do that as long as I can, because I don't know how big this channel is gonna get. If it gets to the point where there's like thousands and thousands of comments, I'll try my best. But as of right now, I'm gonna be replying to anyone and everyone. So, well, let's get started on this journey.